I understand that, quite a number of things have not been addressed by the government. Some people are still saying, who sent the soldiers? Who sent the police people? Because nobody has taken ownership on that, and we are still going back and forth. My question to you now is that, who should we hold responsible till date regarding who shot on the citizens of Nigeria? That's the first question to you. Again, quite a number of celebrities who have, risen in the first protest have rather gone silent now. Is it a question of fear of the government of the day, or what exactly can you draw from this silence?
The question we should be asking ourselves is that what have we said as citizens? What have we done? What have we said? Is it that we are not all suffering? Is it that we are not all feeling it? So I think for me, it's more about looking at certain people and say, what have they not said? It's about looking at all of us and say, what have we not said? Many people want to move on from the issues. Many people are even blaming the people who are protesting. The people who are the ones that are mostly affected, we're the ones that come out and call people all sorts of names and then, say one thing or the other, would rather support the government, because in Nigeria, we have a culture of supporting the victim, the perpetrator, rather than the victim. Who do we hold accountable? The government. The local government, the state government, most especially the federal government. The federal government, because there's only, and apart from beyond the federal government, the president and commander-in-chief, Muhammadu Buhari. Because in the Nigerian system, everything security is under the commander-in-chief. And the military is directly under the commander-in-chief. And if the military have sent in people, they are meant to come and kill whatever they do, the commander-in-chief, the buck stops at his table. The military came out and said that they were not at Lekki Gate on the 20th of October 2020. Then they came out to say, oh yeah, they were there, but they shot blanks. And then we see evidence mounting and mounting, different investigations being done to show that indeed the military were there. Indeed, the military fire. It wasn't blanks they fired. It was bullets they fired. And I think there was a news medium, I think it was CNN, who even used some of the bullets and were able to link it back to Nigerian army, those bullets that were found there, the shells and all of that, where they were bought from and the period with which they were bought. They did ballistic investigation and all of that. So I would say to you, the government, local government, Lagos state government, what's his name again? Sanwo-Olu, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, should be held accountable and responsible. Because according to the words they were trading, he had said he didn't invite the military. The military said that he was the one that invited them.
I just want to ask you, because a lot of agitations have arisen out of this Lekki toll, the reopening of it. Would you say it is time for the youth to reorganize themselves and put up a common front or put a face to the struggle, so that when it comes to engagement with the government, it will not just be faceless social media engaging the government, it will be a coalition of youth that are, organized and able to engage the government together? What are your thoughts about that?
When we talk about the fact that the NSAS protest doesn't have a leadership, it does. They are all leaders. The people, they are all leaders. And at every particular time, they were always at the negotiating table. It's the federal government that was never at the negotiating table. We've had a lot of youth, the NSAS protesters, youth members of the panel, at the different tribunals that are going on. So it's not about saying they are faceless people, that people cannot, that the government cannot negotiate with people who are faceless. Those are excuses that the government is using. So trying to use the issue of no leaders, faceless and all of that, it's not really it. For the youth, they use that as a strategy, knowing fully well the kind of government that they have, where leaders of protests are either picked up, arrested, are bribed to kill a protest. They've seen it over time and they learned from it, and that was a strategy. So I think the youth have really done what they ought to do. What we need to be asking, it's not even the youth, it's the government that is shameless. It's the government that is behaving like a terrorist government. No, strike that out. It's the government that is being a terrorist government, killing its citizens, instead of listening to its citizens that have come out to say, don't kill us. Don't kill us under the cover of darkness. And what did they get? They were actually killed in front of the whole world.
I was just thinking, I said, what is the way forward? Because it's like we're caught between, if you would permit me to say that, the devil and the deep blue sea. What is the way forward? Because we need to start proffering solutions. Where do we go from here?
Where we need to go from here is for every Nigerian citizen to understand that their lives matter. That's the number one thing. When we know that we have lives and we have enshrined rights, and that just being human beings gives us some basic human rights, and those rights are respected. Right now, our government isn't respecting the rights of the people. The government isn't following the constitution. We must call on the government to do the needful. Doing the needful means listening to the people, giving good governance, accountability, and transparency, and not to unleash violence when citizens come out to make demands that it's lawfully allowed.